Da, 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 da.
Hello, Master.
Birds, John. I know you like listening to them. You were just telling me that you were listening to your favorite bird out the window, but I need you to know something. They're not real.
Yes. Birds.
Birds aren't real. There's no real bird.
There are
Because
birds.
no. Back in the 70s, the government rounded up every single bird on the planet and replaced them with robot drones that are watching you.
Dave, that seems unlikely.
That is my favorite conspiracy theory, John. That is a
That-
real conspiracy theory.
That cannot be a conspiracy theory.
So it was actually founded, I don't know, a while ago. It's a joke conspiracy theory that was founded
Okay.
and started on the premise that people will believe anything if you just make a ruckus enough about it and talk confidently about it on the internet. So it was a
Yeah.
straight up joke. There are now a bunch of people that actually believe it. And you can literally Google its founding. Like the founder was some guy from the University of like Arkansas, Arizona, something like that, who straight up just came up with a conspiracy theory as a joke to prove how dumb conspiracy theories are in general. There was just a protest the other day about it.
You know that there was a university, an entire university, I guess, got behind a conspiracy theory that Delaware didn't exist.
Well, as someone who lived there for years, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Could be that.
I love a good conspiracy theory. They always crack me up to no end. Researching them is fascinating to me. My favorite are ones that you're like, oh, maybe.
Right.
I love when you do enough research that even you are kind of like a solid maybe. I don't believe any of them are true, but I can't disprove some of them. I can't get to the point where I can say unequivocally this one is not real. But I think especially growing up with the military and just watching governments my whole life, I think my foundational issue with a lot of conspiracy theories are you put a lot of faith in the government to be able
that
to,
smart.
yeah, to be able to pull this off as
Right.
coordinatedly as
Right.
like this.
Remember, these are the same people in charge of COVID response.
These are the same people that are in charge of a lot of things, and we've seen how that's worked. So I think my foundation for believing the government can accomplish large things secretly is much lower than most people's.
Yeah, Area 51, seriously?
It cracks
Seriously,
me
it
up.
wouldn't surprise me if all they're storing there is like canned food. You know what I mean?
Who knows? I mean, I personally believe aliens are real. My holdup is, have they visited Earth? I think the universe is huge, and it's kind of ridiculous to think we are the only sentient life in it. But have they gotten here? That's more my holdup, not whether they exist.
Well, I'm still stuck on the until, let's put it that way, unless and until they prove to me that time can be beaten, I don't think there's a way aliens could have ever visited our planet.
Yeah, I mean, there are some theories as to how it could be done, but most of them involve using more power than has been generated since the universe was founded to accomplish. So, or at least more
Right.
than multiple solar systems have ever created.
Right, and even just power. I mean, how can you beat time with just power? For one thing, you can't fly through space like ultra fast because there's a lot of crap flying around space.
I mean, I think most of the theories, like warp drive in Star Trek, my favorite, that actually has to do with folding space. That has less to do with that. So, the theory of warp drive is, let's say, I have a pillowcase right here for illustration's sake. Let's say that one of your ships is here, and
No,
one
wait,
of
Dave,
your
before
ships.
you go on, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this a music review channel?
I think so.
Okay, go ahead, continue.
Okay, good. So with enough power, what you could do is fold space. So you're not traveling from finger to finger, you're traveling from finger to finger. So fold space and travel less distance. That
And
is
this
the
term,
concept.
makes sense to you?
That is the
term-
concept behind warp drive. I mean,
I get it, but does that even make sense to you to fold space?
It is more bend space than fold out, right? But actually, we see multiple. Like technically, gravity does that. That's why black holes are such an issue. So yeah, that at a conceptual level, it absolutely makes sense, and we know that it exists. But can we do it? That is that is the bigger. Can we do it and in a controlled way that doesn't murder everyone?
You're right. That doesn't end everything.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah. Anyway, this is the music review channel, so
Yes, it is. You know what, Dave? We're going to get about as far from electronic birds in outer space as humanly possible with this next video.
well, you can't get too far from the electronic birds, John. They're everywhere.
So, no, what we're going to do, we have not visited with Jethro Tull, Mr. Ian Anderson and company, in a long time. So I just think it's time to get back to some Jethro Tull, and this is a live video that was filmed in Madison Square Garden in 1970 something.
Nope. Excellent work, John.
I have it here somewhere. 1978. 1978. Okay. So this is a live recording, and there's a couple of things. First of all, you look at these guys and you say to yourself, well, I know I did, they are high as a kite. These guys are stoned off their gourds. But you know what doesn't make sense? And it's kind of like folding space, Dave. What doesn't make sense is how like 8 guys that look and act kind of like they're stoned off their bones come together and do precision singing and progressive rock.
All right.
How? Maybe it's like folding space, Dave. But anyway, there's no lyrics. This is a concert performance. And let's see what you think of it and what you make of the lyrics that you can make out.
All right, here we go. All right. Like the keyboard.
Ian Anderson reminds me of you a little bit.
The garish good looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Songs from the woods. Hey! Let me bring you songs from the woods to make you feel much better than you could know. Dust you down from tip to toe. To show you how the garden grows. And hold you steady as you go. Hold steady as you join the chorus if you can. It'll make of you an honest man. Let me bring you love from the fields. Poppies red and roses filled with summer rain. The hero wound to still the pain that threatens again and again as you drag down every lover's lane. Life's long celebrations here.
Definitely lyrics.
You are in many fear. Let me bring you all things of mine. Galley hearts and little songs left in chilling ale. Greetings, well met, fellow hail. I am the wind to fill your sail. I am the cross to take your nail. The sticker of these ancient times. With kitchen prayers and gutter rhymes. Oh. Songs from the heart, make you feel better. Songs from the heart, make you feel better.
That's it.
Is that
I know
it?
the video goes on, but that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah. He
That
goes on
makes
to
me-
introduce the band, but that's the end of that song.
All right, that says a lot about that song that you said that's it, and I felt legitimately sad. I don't know if I could praise that song much more than that statement. Honestly, like that made me sad that it's done. First of all, I don't know anyone's names. So Mr. Jethro Tull, who I assume is the name of every member of the band.
No.
That's what
Ian Anderson.
Okay. So Mr. Anderson Tull, he, I got to say, one of the flute players, he was almost like flute beatboxing, which was
Yeah.
a ton of fun. Wasn't he the one who, I feel like this is going way back, was he the one that you told me he plays the flute wrong?
Yes, he plays it wrong. He's self-taught, and he only plays the flute because at the time when his band was coming up in England, Eric Clapton was out there, Jimmy Page from Zeppelin was out there, and he just felt, I'm not going to be much competent. I'm a good guitar player. I'm just not a phenomenal guitar player. And he is a very good guitar player, in fact. But he just figured, well, let me pick up the flute, and
he's an
taught himself
excellent,
to play.
yeah, he's an excellent flautist, for
And
sure.
he speaks over
Mhm.
while he is playing the flute.
Well, that's what I mean. He was like beatboxing with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was really neat. He's a showman. Like, first and foremost, like outside of his incredible musical talent, he's a showman. That dude was into it. And I felt his energy. And I think that's part of why I was having so much fun listening to that song, is because I wanted to be as excited about listening to that as that dude was about playing it.
Yeah.
Like his face, his movements, his garish slapping together of the cymbals, like everything about it was just fun to be a part of. So yeah, that song was fantastic. It did actually have lyrics, but the lyrics in general are just, hey, come enjoy this song that makes you feel like you're having fun frolicking in the woods with me, which nailed it.
Yeah, pretty much. That song, it's called Song from the Wood, or Songs from the Wood. It opens the album called Songs from the Wood. So it's kind of an introductory song to the album.
Okay, that's actually really neat. I like that a lot. It definitely made me feel like if these dudes were throwing a big old party around a bonfire in the woods, first of all, there's a lot of drugs and a lot of alcohol, but second of all, like they're just saying, come have a good time with us. And if the rest of the album is anything like the opening was, I'd like to go have a good time with them. That is an instant regular old on that playlist. Would listen to again, will listen to again. That was fun. I know almost nothing about Jethro Tull, but yeah, that was fun. Good job, Mr. Tull.
Mr. Tull. Yes.
Mr. Tull.
You know what I keep thinking? You with your D&D and things like that, I think that a lot of Tull, not all, but a lot of Tull would make great background music while you're playing D&D with people.
Maybe. I always stay away from anything with words.
All right, but if it's far enough in the background, maybe, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I was just
Anywho.
running the intro scenario to the new Witchlight Carnival campaign, and I did have on in the background like carnival noises. Like
Oh.
speaking of, how do you pronounce the name, the Calliope or whatever? The thing that you
Calliope.
see, Calliope, the thing that
Yeah.
the monkey sits there and cranks.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the word was in there because the characters walk by one and hear one in the background. I even had one playing in the background, and I realized I've never heard that word said. I've
Oh.
only ever read it.
Oh, okay. Oh, you were
So
close. Calliope.
Calliope.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I spent like 4 hours listening to one
Okay.
like a week and a half ago, weirdly enough. But Calliope. All right, there we go. There's the new thing I learned today. Calliope.
Yeah. Well, you know what we forgot to do?
What?
Hello, fellow humans.
Hello, humans.
What did you learn today?
Oh yeah.
They've learned Calliope.
Tell me what you learned today. Was it Calliope?